Hello and welcome to this Success Hypnotherapy session for reading more. This session will allow you to begin to feel naturally and instinctively drawn towards books, ideas, and useful knowledge in a calmer, more satisfying way. Perhaps you've sometimes intended to read more and then found that other things seem to take over. A screen, a task, a wandering thought. A small delay that somehow becomes yet another day. And yet the part of you that wants to read more is still there, waiting to become stronger, clearer, and more automatic. Reading is not just something you do, it's something you become familiar with again. It's a private doorway, a quiet discipline. A place where attention grows stronger and your imagination grows brighter. Success becomes something you rehearse in the mind every time you turn a page. Now, some people tell themselves that they don't have time to read. But time's not usually found, it's claimed. 5 minutes becomes 10, 10 becomes 20. A chapter becomes a habit becomes part of your identity. And when something becomes part of who you are, it stops feeling like effort and starts feeling natural. In this session, you can begin to find reading more enjoyable, more accessible, and more rewarding. You can find yourself choosing a book more easily, settling into the words more quickly, and remembering more of what matters, and feeling good about the simple, steady progress of reading more. So now begin to settle into a place where you can begin to relax and be undisturbed for a while. And you can begin to notice yourself getting comfortable, ready to let your unconscious mind learn how to make reading feel natural, satisfying once again. And now take a nice deep breath in. Hold it for a moment and let it out slowly. Just allowing your eyes to close. And now take your attention to your eyelids and the tiny muscles around the eyes. And you can relax those eyelids so deeply, so completely, that for these few moments they simply don't want to work. You can let them become loose, soft, heavy and calm. And when you're sure that they're so deeply relaxed that they don't want to open, gently test them and notice that they remain comfortably closed. And it feels so good. And you can stop testing them and just go deeper. And as you do, you can take a long, slow breath in. And as you breathe out, you can take that relaxation and spread it down through the body. From the top of the head, through the face, the jaw, the neck and the shoulders, down the arms and the hands. As you breathe deeply, you can feel it flowing all the way down through the chest, the stomach and the hips, into the legs, over the knees, down into the feet, all the way down to the tips of your toes. In a moment, you can take another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you can double that relaxation, just allowing it to grow with every moment. Breathe in And breathe out, doubling that relaxation. And now you can relax the mind in the same way that the body is relaxing. Imagine that there are numbers in the mind, and in a moment you can begin counting silently from 1 upwards. After each number, the mind can relax twice as much. And very soon those numbers can fade, can blur, drift, dissolve, disappear into nothing. 1. Relaxing the mind. 2. Softer and slower. 3. Letting the numbers fade. 4. Drifting away. And 5. Disappearing into nothing. When the numbers are gone, you can simply go deeper. And as you relax here, listening to my voice, every sound, every pause between my words takes you deeper into this calm, focused, receptive state. And as you go deeper, you can imagine yourself at the entrance to a beautiful old library. This may be a library you've seen before, or one created entirely by the deeper creative part of your mind. The doors are large and welcoming, made of warm, polished wood. And as they open, you notice a soft, golden light inside. The air has that comforting scent of paper, ink, and possibility. You step inside, and every step takes you deeper. 10. Stepping into calm. 9. Deeper into focus. 8. The outside world fading away. 7. The mind becoming clearer. 6. The body resting more completely. 5. Halfway down into this library of inner success. 4. Deeper still. 3. Quiet, receptive, open. 2. Almost there. And 1. Deeply relaxed now. In this library there are shelves stretching gently in every direction, each one holding ideas, stories, inspiration and discoveries. Some books are already familiar, some are waiting for you. And somehow, every book here represents a doorway into a stronger version of yourself. As you walk between the shelves, you may notice a comfortable chair beside a warm lamp. The chair seems made especially for you. Supportive, inviting, easy and restful. And as you sit down, relaxation moves through the body in a new way. The forehead smooths, the eyes rest, the jaws loosen. As your shoulders drop, your arms become heavy and warm and your chest breathes easily. The stomach softens. The legs release. The feet settle. And in this quiet inner library, you can begin to notice a book resting nearby. A book that represents your new relationship with reading. You may see its cover clearly, or you may simply sense that it's there. The cover has the words, "I read more because it feels good to grow." Just allow those words to settle in now. I read more because it feels good to grow. And there's a powerful change that can happen when reading is no longer treated as a chore, but as a reward. Not something you have to force yourself through, but something you get to return to. A few pages, a chapter, a passage, a thought that stays with you. And you can begin to feel that quiet pull towards reading at the right times of day. Perhaps in the morning before the noise of the world gathers. Perhaps in the evening when the mind wants something calmer and richer. Perhaps during small pockets of time that used to slip away unnoticed. And the unconscious mind can begin to sort this out for you. It can notice those natural openings. It can create little moments where a book comes to mind, and in those moments you can reach for a book, open it, read the first line and then continue easily. The first line leads to the next line, and that leads to the next page. And each page leads to progress, and progress feels so good. And the more you read, the easier it becomes to read even more. You read consistently, you read easily, and you read with more interest. Because reading more now feels like success. Success doesn't always arrive as a dramatic moment. Success can be quiet. Sometimes it's just a bookmark moving forwards. Success is a mind that becomes calmer because he's learned how to stay with one useful thing at a time. And whether you read quickly or slowly, whether it's fiction or non-fiction, whether you're reading for learning, for pleasure, for skill or inner growth, you can let reading become part of the way you succeed. Now bring to mind an ordinary time in the near future when you might previously have drifted into distraction. Maybe reaching for a phone or switching on the TV. Maybe delaying. Maybe thinking, I'll read later. And now, watch that moment change. See yourself pause, become aware, and calmly choose differently. You reach for a book, you open it, and begin. And once you begin, it becomes easier to continue. And that's important. Once you begin, it becomes easier to continue. And that's such an interesting thought, that once you begin, it becomes easier to continue. Let that become a rule in the deeper mind. The beginning creates the movement, and that creates the habit. And it's the habit that creates the identity. And you can begin with such ease. You can read one page and feel successful. You can read 5 pages and feel momentum. Feeling proud to read a chapter. And you can stop at a good place and look forward to returning. That looking forwards is important. The mind repeats what feels rewarding, and from now on, you can begin to feel little rewards as you read. A sense of calm, of curiosity, of progress. A sense of becoming sharper, wiser, more capable. And perhaps you notice the distractions become less compelling. Not because you fight them, but because something better has taken their place. You're not losing anything. You're gaining quiet, depth, that steady internal feeling of being someone who follows through. And if a distracting thought appears while reading, that's perfectly okay. You simply notice it and return to the next word, just as the gentle hand might return a bookmark to its place. Your attention returns to the page. No criticism or struggle, just returning to the page. And every time you do, your focus strengthens, your reading habits and your identity as a reader strengthens. And you may even begin to notice certain cues in daily life. The sight of a book, a quiet chair, a cup of tea or coffee, a few spare moments. These cues begin to say, read now, enjoy this now, return to yourself now. And now imagine yourself weeks from now having read more than you would have read before. Notice the feeling, a quiet satisfaction, not boastful but real. You've been keeping a promise to yourself. You've been feeding the mind. You've been choosing depth over drift. Look at the expression on your face in that future. See the calm confidence there. Notice the way that version of you speaks about reading. It's a part of your life. It's just what you do. And now drift into that future self. Become that future you. Feel from the inside what it's like to be a person who reads more naturally. Notice your posture, your breathing, your focus. Notice the easy sense of choosing a book without argument. Notice how good it feels to continue. And let that future self tell you something now. Perhaps the words are simple. Start small and keep returning. Or perhaps you're already becoming this. Whatever message comes, let it settle deep. And from this moment forwards, reading can become more attractive. Books can be more inviting, pages easier to enter. Your focus becomes stronger and follow through is more satisfying. You can read more in a way that fits your life, your rhythm, your interests, and your success. And the more you read, the more you want to read, and the more naturally you begin. And the more consistently you read, the more success becomes a part of who you are. And now it's time to bring this session to a close. In a few moments you can begin to return from this inner library, bringing all the useful suggestions with you. But before you return, notice that book one more time, the book that represents your new relationship with reading. See it resting there available to you, part of you now. And perhaps you place a bookmark inside, knowing exactly where to return. Because you can always return to this calm, focused place inside yourself. And now as I count from 1 to 5 of every number, you'll find yourself becoming more awake, more alert, more back to the present moment. 1. Energy returning gently to the body. 2. Breathing a little more fully. 3. Your awareness coming back into the room. 4. Feeling clearer, calmer and refreshed. And 5. Eyes open, wide awake, feeling good. And as you return, you can have the pleasant sense that something inside has already shifted. A small but powerful inner adjustment. And from now on, whenever you see a book or notice a quiet moment that could be used well, a calm thought can rise naturally in the mind. Just begin. And as you begin, reading becomes easier, and it becomes easier to continue. And whether you read 1 page, 5 pages, or many pages, you can feel that quiet satisfaction of progress. And that satisfaction draws you back again and again, so the habit strengthens without force. You may even surprise yourself by choosing reading at times when you used to choose distraction, and that pleasant surprise becomes proof that change is already happening. Thank you for joining me in this session today, and let the benefits continue to unfold naturally as your mind rediscovers more opportunities to read, to enjoy, and to grow. Each page can become another small success, and those successes can build into something powerful. And until next time, goodbye and good mental health.